Yes, yes, check it out. It's based Boxing Basement Triple B. Make sure you like. Yeah, because it's a truth telling channel, and it helps protect, I guess, the algo and the haters. All right. So. Well, sometimes I feel, why am I talking about this kind of thing? But the latest Jake Paul fight has been announced. Yeah. Yeah, there's someone called Andre August. Now, before we start talking about this, whether the guy's a complete bum, whether it's a worthwhile fight, you can say, well, why are you talking about these fights? Well, firstly, they are pro fights. They're real pro fights, as long as they got the pro fight label. Yeah? Secondly, people are interested in it. Even Boxing News has done articles on Jake Paul and so on and so forth, right? But, is Jake Paul any good? Well, for a novice, he's fine, Is he going to go any further than that? Well, I don't know, man, I wouldn't be surprised if remember, they were already talking, if Jake Paul beat Tommy Fury, the WBC, we're going to rank him in the top 30, which basically means, I think it means you could actually have a world title fight. Well, certainly if you're top, I don't know, maybe you have to be top 10 for the WBC, I'm not sure. Not sure about that. I mean, regardless, it's the WBC. They'll bend the rules if there's money in it, But yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily hate the old, what they call it, like misfits boxing or the YouTube boxing, celeb boxing. If they're fighting pro contests, then they're pro fighters, and it takes guts for anyone to step in the ring. It takes guts for people to even spar. If you remember your first spar, you're nervous, man. Right, so I don't hate on it. Yeah, it takes a lot of attraction away, but I also think it can raise awareness of boxing. There's probably people that get into boxing because they start to watch YouTube fights, or So I don't really hate on it. And let's look at this anyway. So Jake Paul, I mean, like I said. If he was a novice and he walked in your gym with his power, you'd be like, this guy's okay, man. He could drop down to light heavyweight, but he's got power and he can do something at, certain level, certainly. But he's not a bum. Yeah. I mean, he blown out, a lot of MMA guys and the guys that weren't even fighters, and that's fine. Funky Ben Askren went in a round. Tyron Woodley got flattened in 6 rounds. Anderson Silva dropped him. Anderson Silva actually had four pro fights then. And he's one of the few guys that actually looks pretty decent, but he was old. Tommy Fury, he lost on a split decision, but he dropped Fury. Fury's a genuine pro fighter. He had 15 amateur fights. He's not that good either. Nate Diaz, it was his debut. I mean, that was a bit whack. I mean, Jake Paul kind of fell in love with his power, Rather than boxing for openings, just throw a big right hand and then just, hug. Clinch, as they say, but it's really hugging, right? Right? But he gets people, he gets eyes, people will pay to watch him. And as I said, listen, there'll be guys that weren't that interested in boxing who'll suddenly be interested in boxing because, there might be YouTube fans, there might be youths, there might be little teenagers, and like, oh, I quite like this boxing thing. So we can't hate on it too much, man. It's just negative. Too much negativity. Yeah. So let's look at this. Andre August, right? So what does Andre August bring to the table? Well, firstly, he brings a decent record. Yeah, 10 wins, 1 loss and 1 draw. And he's got 5 wins by way of KO, and his 1 loss is by way of KO. Right, and obviously with records, they say records are for DJs. I mean, that's all these cliches. They got some truth in them, but record. It doesn't mean that records don't mean anything. Of course, they mean something, but you got to look into it more. I mean, that's not a bad record. That's in fact a pretty good record, and that's why it's perfect for Jake Paul, because this is going to look good. Why? Because this guy, Andre August. Yeah, I can't seem to find he's got a nickname, but Andre August, a double A. Alcoholics Anonymous, Andre August. The quadruple A, right? Is perfect for Jake Paul. Why? Well, his record's pretty shiny. He looks good, You could say, right, he's won 10 fights. He's only lost 1. Yeah? But I'm playing in the background, right, the clips they got. There's quite a few clips on the guy, actually, for nobody. There's quite a few clips on YouTube. But basically he's slow, right? He's cumbersome, Right? He can't really punch. He's got 5 KOs out of 10 wins, but you know he's fought nothing but bombs. Right? We'll get into this record in a minute. He's short. Okay, now on BoxTrade he's listed as 5'10", but my batty 5'10", man. He's 5'8" max, and sometimes he looks 5'6". He's a midget. He's a midget. Yeah? He's no spring chicken either. He's 35. You know, 35 and you know, let's be honest, right? He hasn't done much in boxing. He ain't about to do it either. You know, Paul's 26. Paul's got 10 years on him, right? And also this guy, right? So he's 35. He's slow. He can't punch. He's short, but his record's glossy. He's muscular. Yeah, he's muscular, so he'll look good. He's not. He's he's not bad looking. No homo if you're into that. I bet Sam Stroller would like it. Yeah, and he's black. Now people say, "Oh, what does that matter?" Well, everything matters. Everything matters, and you know, especially in boxing, if you've got some muscular black guy, you know, people can be, "Oh, he must really be able to fight." You know, it's a cliche, but that's true. You know, and the other thing you got to notice, this guy, Alcoholics Anonymous, Andre August, yeah. He's a promoter. He's been a promoter, so he knows the score, man. He knows the score. He's going to get a payday that he never get anywhere else. Yeah, but he mustn't win. He knows that. I'm not saying that all the Paul fights were fixed. Some people say that. Some people say they are, but I don't believe they all are. I mean, I don't know. I don't believe the Fiore one was fixed. Yeah. I don't believe the Woodley ones were. I don't believe the Askren one was. He just knew he was going to knock out Askren, Nate Robinson, Ali Eason Gibb, which is apparently big nose backwards, big nose Ali backwards or something like that. Yeah, he didn't even know how bombing them guys out. Yeah. I would suggest that none of his fights have been fixed. But some people say that Woodley, the first one, you know, they had an agreement to Woodley. Don't go and knock him out. You're not allowed to try and knock him out. So it's kind of an agreement. It's not an absolute fix. Like, go down in this round, but it's like you're not allowed to try and knock out the big man, Jake Paul, because Jake Paul's a money maker. You know, once he's stretched, it's finished, right? But this Andre August, that's probably the same. It won't be fixed. It won't be fixed like Andre. You go down in this round, but it'll be Andre. You know what? You come here as an opponent. We're paying you whatever, $500,000 or whatever, which you wouldn't ever get anywhere else. You know, his biggest payday comes to being a couple of grand. You know, fighting bums in nobody towns, right? So he knows what to do. Don't try too hard. Yeah, don't try and hurt Paul. Yeah, and you know he'll probably try and make the distance, but you know, consider he's been clubbed. He's been knocked out in 2 rounds by a guy called Eric Abraham. Who at the time had a 3-3 record, but now his record is 7 wins, 16 losses, 13 losses by way of KO, and only 3 KOs. Right? Yeah. So he's scored 3 KOs, right, in 23 fights. So the guy can't punch, and he still managed to knock out the Alcoholics Anonymous. Yeah. He fought a guy called Brendan Martin. He's unbeaten last fight with 7 wins and 5 KOs. Da boss, but he's a 37-year-old guy, and you know, I mean, I don't know, man. This guy hadn't fought anyone with a winning record. Yeah, and that's what you get mostly with August fighters, bums who've got bad losing records, and 3 debutants. Yeah, one of whom drew in his second fight with August, and then went on to have a stellar record of 3 wins, 0 KOs. 13 losses, 1 by KO. You know, these are kind of bums that this guy August has been fighting. Yeah. So it looks good. It looks good. A muscular black guy. You know, he probably talks well. He's a promoter. You know, as I said, if you're into that, like Sam Stroller, he's not a bad looking guy. You know, he'll probably do his bit, chatting. He's a promoter. He'll know how to push the fight, right? But you know. And you can see in the fights, I've showed the fights in the background. One of them is against a guy called Joshua Kuhn, who he stops. But this guy's had 1 win, 4 losses, 4 wins by way of KO. That's all you've got. Endless bums fighting this guy August. And you can see that he's not fast. You can see he's, mechanical. He's not that talented. But, like I said, great record. Black. Muscular. He'll look good. He'll look good for the show. And I got nothing against the fight, weirdly. If this was a genuine fight and a small horse show, right? Yeah. One pro is 7-1. These one pro is 10-1-1, and both of them have had pretty average opposition at best. I'd be like, this is a good fight. This is a good fight, right? So I ain't got no problem really. But yeah, you expect Paul to. Well, Paul's definitely gonna win. Probably bomb him out. You'll catch old Alcoholics Anonymous at some point and iron him out. But whatever, man. The people that like this kind of stuff will like it, and like it brings eyes to boxing. So I got no problem with that. Peace.